Still waiting on parts for the planer, so I'm going to continue working on the legs. And what I have to do now is a mortise. The mortise is 1/2 of the mortise and tenon joint. And a mortise is nothing more than a cavity in wood that the tenon, which is the other part, will slide into, kind of like a pocket. And there are many ways to do a mortise. You can use a drill bit, you can drill into the wood and then use a sharp chisel to square up the corners. You can use a router bit, or you can use a more dedicated mortising machine. Now, I don't have a dedicated mortising machine, but what I do have is my 14-inch drill press, and I have a mortising attachment that goes onto it. And as you can see here, this is the attachment, and down here, if I come in close, you'll see that there is a chisel with a drill bit inside. And what ends up happening is the drill bit drills into the wood and the chisel squares it up. And what you end up with when you do that is a mortise that looks like that. And there's one on each side, as I explained. That mortise is just over 1 inch deep, and it's about 2.5 inches tall. And the distance that it is set back from this edge is designed so that when I put the rails of the table in, and it'll look something like this, there's a bit of a reveal here, a nice little detail. If I had it all the way up against here, it wouldn't look very nice, and also it wouldn't be very structurally sound. So by doing this, I have a lot of material here to support the joint, and at the same time I have a nice little detail right there on the edge. So that's what I'm going to work on today. The fence determines the distance from this edge that the chisel cuts, so basically right along here. This line determines the bottom of the mortise, and this line determines the top of the mortise. So sliding the piece so that the chisel is even with that line, as I bring it down, I'll get the same consistency time and time again. See that? And then it's just a simple matter of turning it on and drilling out the wood. So let's take a look at it. And there you go. You can see the beginning of the mortise, a nice square hole, 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. And now I'll slide the board to the right and keep going. But unfortunately, I need both hands to do this. I've clamped it down for this demonstration, but I'm going to need both of my hands. So I'm going to turn this off and get to work. And it's that simple. I just have to turn the piece around and run it this way because the outside face is over here and I still want it that same distance. Run this one and then 3 more just like it, and the legs will for the most part be done except for some final sanding. Now you may have noticed, or you may be wondering about the depth. I have the depth of my drill press set so that if I go full, it goes down that far. I've got a stop up here that allows me to set that depth. So I've set it to about a 1 1/4 inch depth on each cut, and that'll give me plenty of glue surface when I put the tenon in. And we'll see that after I get the part for my planer and get back to work on that. And that won't be until tomorrow, so see you then.